Welcome to the ranch. Today is one of those bittersweet days. It's a little hard sometimes, and that's life on the farm. Farm life is tough. Here at the Promised Land, we have decided years ago that our objective was to raise all of our own meat. That's the main focus of what we do here. In it, we do sell beef, we sell pork, we sell rabbits, we sell a lot of different animals off the land, some of them living, some already processed out. But all of that is to fulfill the great goal that we have as a family, which is to be able to put good meat in our body. We know where the meat's coming from, we know what they're eating.
Hey guys, so I'm sitting in my garden just hanging out, thinking about all the wonderful things that we've been blessed with, but I'm also thinking about all the life changes we've had this year. You know, within a month, I had a son get married and I became a grandmother. That's a lot of change. And with those changes can sometimes come identity changes. You know, I have a new title. I'm a grandmom. I'm a mom. The good thing about me is that I do have Eric to talk to. And Eric and I can talk to one another and we can get through these changes together and we can feel like we can kind of work through what we're dealing with together. But not everybody has somebody, and maybe you don't have someone that you feel like you can talk to or trust. And that's okay, because I think I might be able to help. Therapists listen, ask questions, and they can help you see things from a whole new perspective. They can give you advice and techniques to make positive changes in your life. BetterHelp is the sponsor of today's video, and they're on a mission to make starting therapy easier. All you have to do is fill out the questionnaire and you are going to be matched with a therapist in as little as a couple days. You can easily switch therapists at any time at no extra cost to you if it's not the right fit. That's awesome because I want to talk to someone that fits with me and my style. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform that you can trust. Just click the link in the description below or go to betterhelp.com/Bland's Ranch. It's going to be right here. Go there and get 10% off your first month of therapy. Guys, you don't have to deal with all these life changes by yourself. If you don't have your own personal Eric to talk to, you might need somebody. So go ahead, reach out. Don't deal with these things alone. Now, let's get back to the video and see what's going on.
The reason why this is bittersweet is because the hard lesson that we've had to learn is all about rotation of your breeders. So the reason why this is hard today is because we're getting ready to take the final trip for one of our large breeding pigs. This is a pig that we've had on our farm for years. She's given us so many great litters, which has ultimately led to all the pork that we've filled our freezers with. And even in that, it's awesome to think that over the years, when we produced our first hams for Christmas, for Easter and things like that, has all come from her and her partner that's down there. But today is the last day that they're going to be together, and it's a bit sad. But if we want to live this lifestyle, this is what we have to do. And even though it's hard and even though it's sad and we don't like doing it, we do know that that's why they're here. That's why they're part of this ranch. It's why they're part of what we are trying to accomplish here. And the big thing is that before we get rid of the big ones, we got to make sure that we have replacements, which is this young one here. It's a female. And then the replacement boar right back here. And both of them has already worked together. They were able to produce, which means now it's time to take the bigger, older ones to process. Hey, baby. She's big. She's probably about 350 to 400 pounds. I've never measured her really because there was really never a point. There was really never a point to do it. It was just about whether she could produce. And between her and Major back here, they have been awesome. But they are aging, and she hasn't dropped the litter for probably about a year now. which tells us that she's just at that point now. It's interesting to see when you talk about your pigs and learning your animals and how much you care for them. You can tell when they're tired, and it kind of makes me think about myself some days where I'm just tired. And this big guy that was once probably about 650 pounds when we did measure him is now getting skinnier. He's getting older. Hey, buddy. And we've had a bit of a history. When he was younger, he did try to snap at me, and looking at that big old head, he could easily have snapped my arm if he wanted to, but he didn't. But what he has done is produced a lot of fantastic, great products for us to fill our freezers. So while it's sad, it is necessary and it's time to go. So now what I want to do is I'm going to try to separate him and her. She's going in the trailer and he is not. So this is where it's going to get a bit interesting. I wanted to get the emotional, sappy stuff out of the way because now I got to get them separate, and they may not like that because they're partners. They've been partners for a long time. The thing I've learned about them is the kryptonite to any pig is food. They can't deny it. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get his food put back here, and I'm going to get her food put in there and see if I can get them separate. So my camera guy is going to take the camera, and I'm going to do what can be the dangerous work. And I got to be mindful of that even though he's older, he's still fast and he's still very strong. So I need to make sure that I'm safe. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure everything is prepped and ready, because sometimes with livestock you have one chance. So I got the escape hatch open up there. Sorry, I have something in my mouth there. I'm going to want to separate her. I'm going to put her up in the front of the trailer. So hatch is open. This gate, kind of funneling her into the back of the trailer. I got this, and I have the best thing to direct her where I want her to go. Dun, da, da, da. Cupcakes and cake. This is leftover cake and cupcakes from a birthday. Perfect timing. So hopefully this cake, it would make me go one direction, I'll tell you that. You leave me with the cake, some buttercream, icing. We're trying to shoot a video, buddy. All right, sorry for the interruption. Anyway, so this cake is what we're going to use to direct her where we want her to be. New game plan. We got everybody out here. I got the cake for the big boy. I got this cake, which is handled by Monica, for Natty. Here, hold this one.
She should just walk. She's a big girl. I mean, she'll try to bite me, but she's probably good. Hi, Bubs. Daddy. Sit. Oh, you're gonna be able to just walk her here.
Stay,
Look. Look, baby. Look, mama. Hey, look. Oh, I got some cake. You want some cake? No, you want some cake? Cupcakes? Here's your cupcake. Look. Cupcake. Come on, mama. That's a good girl. Good girl. Get this cake. Put it right here. Right here, look. She can get it right here. There we go. Good mama. Get your reward. Come on. That's a baby. Good girl. That's our mama.
Yo, he's not coming out. Success. Success. He's back there. I got the other one in here. This was a success. And like I said, the kryptonite of every pig is food, especially cake and cupcakes. With, what kind of icing is that?
Buttercream.
Yeah, buttercream. I said that earlier. With buttercream icing, you can't go wrong. Leave it in the comments. What's your favorite type of icing?
Come on, baby. She's always been real light. She likes that food, yeah. And there's a cupcake in there. There you go.
Only one thing left to do, and that is we're going to have to take Major, our breeding boar, and we're going to have to put him down. Well, when I got back, we had some corrupt files on our video, so I'm going to have to do the conclusion something along this line. Once we got back from delivering our sow off to the processor, we had one last task to do, and it was truly one of the hardest things I had to do. As I've said through the video several times, that farm life is hard, living off the land is hard, but you have to make up in your mind what you're going to do. And so the last task was to put my boar down. He was getting older, he was losing weight, and while we were intentional about taking some of his meat so that it wasn't going to waste, things just didn't work out that way. We started to process him, and it looked like maybe he was just a little bit more old and more sick than maybe we had originally thought. So at the end of the day, what we did was put him back into the earth so that the cycle of life, the cycle of this world would continue. His body did feed some animals that were wild, some out into the fields, but at the end of the day, what I do know is that this is a life that we have chosen, and I may get some comments against that, and that's okay. But there has been a huge disconnect between most people and where their food comes from. But here on this farm, we have decided that we will raise our own food. We will treat every animal with dignity and respect, and we will use them to the fullest potential so that our family knows where our food came from.